Let's talk conspiracy. What's up, sons? It's Blind Rod with Son of a Tech once again, and today I have a little bit of a different video for you. Today we're going to be talking about John McAfee and the conspiracy to take down the Miami condo, I guess, high-rise in Florida, right? Miami, Florida. Post, of course, his suicide and kind of everything that was going on there. This video is completely conspiratorial and super interesting though, so we're going to go over it. But there's pretty much no hard evidence that this is reality at all. I want to make that clear. But being a fan of cryptocurrency and being a fan of John McAfee and just his life in general, because it was so crazy, I think it's worth talking about. We're going to get into it right after a word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is myself. To support the channel, click the join button below the video and you will get access to our privately hosted Rocket Chat. Selecting the $1.99 option will get you access, and after that you need to head over to the membership tab, scroll down, and expand out your membership perks. Find the section for connecting on social media, and in that section there will be a secret registration URL to join Rocket Chat, where you can sign up to enjoy talking with other cryptocurrency enthusiasts and miners without spammers, scammers, or bots. Welcome back. So we're going to hop right into this, and this is an article from the Daily Mail. So it says, quote, "If anything happens to me, the files are on a hard drive in my condo north of Miami Beach. Conspiracy theorists claim John McAfee tweeted he was storing secret stash of government data at building weeks before it collapsed." Here are the bullet points. A cryptic tweet allegedly posted by John McAfee earlier this month has been circulating on Twitter, claiming he was storing secret files at a Miami condo. Screenshots appear to show tweets shared from McAfee's account on June 8th, revealing he had 31 terabytes of files on hard drives near 88th Street and Collins Avenue. McAfee was found dead on Wednesday, allegedly from suicide by hanging. The following day, a 12-story Miami apartment building on 8777 Collins Avenue collapsed, with the cause of the disaster still unknown. There's no such tweet currently on McAfee's Twitter feed. It may have been tweeted and later deleted, or could have been a complete fabrication. DailyMail.com was also unable to find records for a condo owned under McAfee's name in the Champlain Towers collapsed building. However, one tweet still on his account from June 2019 shows McAfee claimed to have 31 terabytes of government secrets. So basically what's going on here is this is an entire almost fabrication of a story, but it would be a fun fabrication of a story. As you can see, Nikki Karras said John McAfee owned a unit at the building that collapsed. The address of the building was 877 Collins Avenue South. Here's the tweet he put out on June 8th, 2021. So this is a screenshot of the tweet, to be clear. And if you go to his profile, that tweet is not on there, but it does say, and obviously these can be doctored pretty easily. You can make them, by the way. But it says, "If anything ever happens to me, please know that the 31 terabytes of files I have are located on hard drives in my condo near 88th Street and Collins Avenue, just north of Miami Beach." So if you go on further down, though, we have a couple more tweets. And so here from John C. Silva, he says there's zero evidence McAfee ever tweeted this, but adding a tiny bit of credibility is a tweet from 2 years ago where he mentions having 31 terabytes of files. So it says in this tweet, and this is on McAfee's account, that "I've collected files on corruption in governments. For the first time, I'm naming names and specifics. I'll begin with a corrupt CIA agent and 2 Bahamian officials coming today. If I am arrested or disappear, 31 plus terabytes of incriminating data will be released to the press." These claims are part of a wider conspiracies about McAfee's death. Anons are working overtime with the motivated reasoning to make connections and justify their twisted belief that the deep state had killed him. So on Wednesday, the day before the Miami building collapsed, the 75-year-old was found dead, allegedly from suicide by hanging. His death sparked an explosion of conspiracy theorists and internet sleuths trying to link him to the widely ridiculed QAnon movement and to Hillary Clinton, a demonized target of many of the movement's crackpot theories. McAfee has previously tweeted about holding 31 plus terabytes of government secrets. While in Cuba on June 9th of 2019, he tweeted that he did that. So we've kind of talked about all that. Let's go over a couple more here. John McAfee tweeting, I have millions of followers, but I'd be surprised if even 1% bothered to read my tweets. Ramblings of an old man lost in a near infinite Twitterverse like tears in rain. As you may guess, I'm having a down day. And I think this is partly Daily Mail trying to discredit a little bit on the side of McAfee here. But then we also have the U.S. believes I have hidden crypto. I wish I did, but it has dissolved through many hands of Team McAfee. Your belief is not required. And my remaining assets are all seized. My friends evaporated through fear of association. I have nothing, yet I regret nothing. So we did know that tweet, obviously. We've talked about these, not this top one, but we've talked about this one previously. And what is going on here? This is wild. So what you have is a conspiracy theory that can't be proven because the tweet has supposedly been deleted. Whether that was deleted by Twitter or deleted by McAfee himself, it'd be hard to tell. What we do know about McAfee is that he did tweet quite a few things regardless of whether or not they were necessarily accurate, quite a bit. And he was a bit of a character. You know, the whole going to cut off my if Bitcoin doesn't reach $1 million within X given amount of time. I forget exactly what that prediction was. So it's clear that he is, you know, a character, right? And there are still some things like we've talked about previously with Janice McAfee, his wife, and conspiracies surrounding that, where she does claim to have had a note that didn't sound like, you know, he was about to commit any sort of acts against himself to take his own life. And of course, that she believes in general that he was, you know, suicided. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the story that she's had. We've talked about this in a previous video, and definitely go check it out. So there is some stuff leaning towards, of course, foul play in general, at least according to, you know, his closest confidant at this point. That being said, it's hard to prove anything. Now, obviously, these are basically coincidental events, more than likely. The death of John McAfee into the explosion of the Miami condominium, and of course, or high rise, or whatever it may be. And of course, condolences to everybody that lost any sort of course, life, or of course, any sort of, you know, property in that event. So unfortunately, it's one of those topics where you can talk about it, but because there was damage done to other people's lives, you want to be very, very careful about it. And the question would be, right, I guess in the conspiracy is, was this a dead man switch from John McAfee? If the conspiracy is true, right? So being very clear here, I'm speaking in conjecture, I suppose. Or was it, you know, taken out by some sort of third party that did not want the data to be released? Now, we do know that there is some sort of data, at least claimed data, from John McAfee from 2 years ago. The number matches up, which is the 31 terabytes, but somebody could have doctored this tweet, gone back and found that he was talking about 31 terabytes and just created this tweet to make the conspiracy seem that much more enticing, right? So do I think this is true or possible? No. Do I think there's some gray around the John McAfee, you know, death? Yes, I do think there is some, and that's pretty clear. Like, there's definitely things that the public won't be aware of, whether that's the exact tax implications that were owed or so on, because at this point he's passed away. So this will kind of be swept under the rug, kind of like the Epstein deal, except Epstein has, you know, well, we have a lot more questions about Epstein, because a leak with the Epstein information could be a lot more damaging to, of course, the global governments, etc., depending on, you know, how many people he was related to and which ones, right? In this case, we don't even really necessarily know what the information is and whether or not that information is accurate. So this 31 terabytes, we don't even know that it exists. And even if it does, we don't know what that is. And then if we take a look at, of course, the events surrounding John McAfee's death, we don't know exactly, like I said, what the charges specifically were against him outside of the taxes. We know it's taxes in general, but we don't know if other things are going to be tacked on to that and what else was in relation to it. So these are fun conspiracy theories to play with, and I thought that I would bring it to y'all's attention. If there's any internet sleuths that are, within the community for Son of a Tech, definitely hit me up on Rocket Chat. I'd be interested to see what you found. And take everything, once again, with a huge grain of salt. First of all, this is Daily Mail, right? Second of all, the tweet didn't really exist, or at least doesn't exist right now. And we can't prove that it did necessarily unless we use maybe some sort of archiver, which I wasn't able to find any success with. Maybe you can, and let us know in the comment section below. And it's just a reminder here on this Labor Day that John McAfee did have a huge hand in, bringing Bitcoin to the forefront for everybody and basically, popularizing it. Now we've gotten to the point to where it's super interesting. I'm actually curious. I would be curious to know what McAfee's current opinion on this, on the current markets would be, because if you guys recall, and this is something that I did want to bring up, he was very heavy on privacy and security. And as we can see with the regulations being put in within the United States and other governments and the exchanges, as well as the way Bitcoin is functioning and the way Ethereum is functioning, I have a pretty strong inkling that John would not be, super thrilled with the current state of cryptocurrency outside of a few projects like Monero or Pirate Chain or Rio, something that is more secure and more private. I don't think that he would be too thrilled with the direction of cryptocurrency in general. Things like KYC and know your customer for all of the exchanges, and of course all of the bank integrations that will be coming soon. Yes, we talked about the Texas Bitcoin stuff, and I wanted to clarify one more notable point there, is that more than likely eventually you're going to have a deposit button for your cryptocurrency within your banking application. And that's going to make it easier and easier, obviously, for the government to track. And just coming from the prior knowledge of how John would look at these types of things, that would be a negative. I think it's food for thought. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Once again, this has been a conspiracy, a fun one, but a conspiracy at this point. And I thank you guys for watching. See you next Tuesday. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to see more. Also, you can check out this playlist for more content talking about cryptocurrency.